Hello everyone, I am Sunil Kumar from the research and advisory team of Taxman. I hope you all are healthy and keeping yourself and your family safe. We all know that the country is going through the tough times because of this second wave of COVID-19, and we also have noticed, especially in past few weeks, that there is a scarcity of the resources that we need to save people from this deadly virus. Considering the scarcity of the resources, various governments from other countries, including the relief agencies from other countries, are extending their support to India by providing these relief items. Now, in this backdrop, various state governments, relief agencies, and in few cases the corporates also have made several representations to the central government to provide exemption in respect of import of these items into India. So, in this presentation, we would be discussing about the exemption notified by the central government on import of these items into India. Apart from it, we would also be discussing few of the practical issues relating to claiming the exemption in this regard. And also, we would also be deliberating the GST implications where the corporates are importing these goods and distributing to their employees, to relief agencies, etc. So we would be also deliberating these issues. So if we see the import of COVID relief items uh, is primarily subject to three type of taxes. First is basic customs duty. Second, health cess in respect of specified products, and third is IGST. Now, with effect from 24th April 2021, the government has exempted the basic customs duty for import of COVID relief items, and this exemption is unconditional. However, in respect of few specified raw materials which would be used for manufacturing the final medicines which ultimately will going to be used for COVID relief purposes, the raw material would be exempt from the basic customs duty provided the importer comply with the customs IGCR rules. For example, if I'm importing the beta cyclodextrin, which is used as a in manufacturing the remdesivir, so import of beta cyclodextrin would be exempt from basic customs duty provided the importer manufacturer is complying with the customs IGCR rules. So apart from it, the basic customs duty has been exempted unconditionally. The goods which are exempted and the time period up to which these are exempted, as you can see on your screen, the goods which are there in Exhibit 1 of this presentation, these are exempted up to 31st October 2021. And the goods which are there in Exhibit 2, for example, oxygen concentrator, oxygen generator, specified ventilators, COVID-19 vaccine, these are exempted up to 31st July 2021. Now the basic customs duty is exempted irrespective of the fact whether you are importing these goods on purchase basis or you are importing the donated items, irrespective of the fact whether you are distributing in India on free of cost basis for COVID relief purposes, or you may be a trader or you may be a manufacturer. If you are selling it, basic custom duty would be exempted in all the cases, right? Coming on to the health cess wherever applicable, it has also been exempted. In respect of IGST, IGST exemption is very limited. The exemption notification provides that exemption would be available to state government entities, relief agencies, statutory bodies authorized by the state government when these are imported on free of cost basis, and it would be distributed on free of cost basis for COVID relief purposes. Meaning thereby, if you are importing on purchase basis, then exemption would not be available. These would be available when you are receiving these goods on free of cost basis. If you are eligible to claim the exemption of IGST, that is importing these goods on free of cost basis for again free distribution for on free of cost basis, then you would require to comply with the procedure notified in this regard. Then only can exemption be claimed. So as you can see on your screen, this is the brief of the procedure which the importer is required to comply. We'll discuss each of the steps in detail in the upcoming slides. So first you would require to apply a certificate to the nodal authority, and the nodal authority would give you the certificate, which at step 3 you would be required to submit before the customs authorities, basis which you can claim the exemption of the IGST. After clearance of the goods for home consumption for COVID relief purposes in India, you would require to comply with certain post-importation compliances also. So at first step, you would be required to apply for a certificate to the nodal authority. A nodal authority is an authority appointed by the state government. This is particularly an officer appointed by the respective state governments, to whom you would be required to apply for the certificate, right? Many of the state governments had appointed their respective officers to whom we can contact for getting the certificate. The list of these officers appointed by the respective state government has been compiled by the CBIC, and we have also mentioned the list of these officers in our document, which is attached as an Exhibit 4 of the presentation. So you can refer the list of these officers from there also. So we would be required to apply for a certificate to the nodal officers. The certificate would primarily be providing that these goods are meant for free distribution for COVID relief purposes in India, right? Since the exemption is conditional exemption, the nodal authority may ask a declaration from you that please declare that you are importing these goods on free of cost basis. You would be distributing tomorrow these goods on free of cost basis for COVID relief purposes in India. So they may ask a declaration from you, right? So we have prepared a draft declaration in respect of import of these items, which you can use in order to get the certificate from the respective nodal authority. Now there is a practical question that if you are importing goods in state A, say state of Haryana, but tomorrow you would be distributing in multiple states. So the question is, do we need to take a certificate from each of the respective nodal officers separately, or will the single certificate from Haryana nodal authority would suffice? So in this regard, CBIC has clarified that single certificate would suffice for you. You would not require to take separate certificate from separate authorities, right? The basis that single certificate, you can claim the exemption of IGST. Now, after applying the certificate, the nodal authority would grant the certificate to the importer, and this certificate would contain certain particulars. So basically, the CBIC has also notified the draft authorization form, the draft certificate. So final certificate which the nodal authority will issue you, it may vary, the format of it may vary, but what we need to make sure that whatever particulars which are there in the draft authorization form prescribed by the CBIC, these particulars are there in the final certificate issued by the nodal authority. Please make sure we are the importers importing these items, and condition is on us to claim the exemption. So if tomorrow the particulars are not there in the certificate, then authority may demand the taxes which you have claimed, the exemption of which you have claimed, the IGST exemption. So please make sure that whenever you are importing these goods, make sure all the particulars which are there in the draft authorization form, these are there in the final certificate issued by the respective nodal authority, right? Now another practical query is that if you are importing these goods on regular basis, right, this is not a one-time consignment. So do I need to take a consignment wise certificate from the nodal authority, or will the single certificate would suffice. So in this regard, the exemption notification is not providing anything. It just provides that you would need to take a certificate from the nodal authority, and whenever you are clearing the goods for home consumption for COVID relief purposes, you would need to produce the certificate to the customs authorities. So your single certificate covering multiple products would suffice. You would need to mention the port details where these goods would be importing. That's it. And this a single certificate would suffice for you. Whenever you're clearing the goods for home consumption, you just need to produce this certificate to the customs authorities at the time of importation or clearing the goods for home consumption for COVID relief purposes, and exemption can be claimed. Now, as I said you that after issuance of certificate, you would need to submit the certificate to the customs authorities, basis which you would be entitled to claim the exemption of IGST. Once you clear these goods for home consumption for COVID relief purposes, then within 6 months from the date of importation, or which can be extended to 9 months, you would need to submit a certificate, a simple statement, not certificate, a simple statement, which would contain the details of the goods which are imported and which are distributed on free of cost basis. This certificate would again be certified by the nodal authority. Right. Now, one may ask a question that suppose I have imported these goods by taking a certificate from the Haryana authorities, and tomorrow I am distributing these goods in West Bengal, Maharashtra, etc. So do I need to take a separate, do I need to get this simple statement which would contain the details of goods imported and distributed on free of cost basis? Do I need to get this statement certified from the different nodal authorities, or will the Haryana authority would certify this and that would suffice for me? So Haryana authority certifying this statement, that would be suffice for you. You can submit that statement to the uh, custom authorities, and it would be a compliance of the exemption notification, the condition given in the exemption notification. Now we have few comments in relation to these exemptions. Firstly, if you are importing these goods on purchase basis, then IGST exemption would not be available to you. This is irrespective of the fact whether you are importing these goods for donation purposes or for business purposes. The exemption would not be available. It is highly recommended that the government should also provide the exemption in respect of the scenarios where these are imported on purchase basis, but it would be distributed for donation purposes in India. There are few cases which we have seen practically that companies are importing these goods for distributing to their employees. So the question arises whether the IGST which we would be paid, because these are purchased items, right? So they would be going to pay the IGST on it. So will they be able to claim the ITC of the IGST which they would pay? Can it be covered within the expression disposed of by way of gifts? Or can we say that it's a personal expenditure of the employees? Uh, in our view, the ITC can be claimed. In our humble view, it cannot be equated with the expression disposed of by way of gifts, and therefore ITC would not be available. The ITC in these scenarios can be claimed by the companies. This would, I would say, rather it's a condition of employment where the employer would provide these materials to the employee so that work can be done efficiently and effectively, right? The business should continue because these ultimately employees are there who would be running the business directly, indirectly, right? So in order to ensure the smooth running of the business, the company is providing the COVID relief items to their employees, right? So these are more of conditions of the employment, and it cannot be referred as gifts or the things which are personally consumed, right? So therefore, ITC in these scenarios would be available in our humble view. As we discussed just in last slides, that many state governments have appointed the respective officers which would act as the nodal authorities, right? Where the importers would be getting the certificates. But few of the governments have not yet appointed the nodal officers. It is highly recommended that these officers or agencies should be notified on priority basis, and details of these should be published for that smooth and immediate clearance of COVID relief materials in India. So this is all from my side. Uh, Thank you for patience listening. We at Taxman urge all of you to stay safe. Thank you. Thanks a lot.